Hey man, real stay shit. You already know what the fuck is going on. So we posted here today to talk about some crazy shit that's been going on right now. It's the debate between Certified Lover Boy and Melodic Blue. Now I've seen hella vlogs, hella fucking just fans in general, like as soon as Melodic Blue dropped, saying that Melodic Blue is better than Drake's Certified Lover Boy. Now I feel like at first, like niggas, like there's like two responses to this shit. Niggas are like, yo, y'all tweaking, Certified Lover Boy. Like the diehard Drake fans will swear by that shit. I swear, bro. Drake could be fucking your cousin and fucking like send you a video of it, and these fucking Drake fans, if that were to happen, these niggas would still be on Drake's dick. Like niggas will die for that shit. And then the Baby Keem fan base is some other shit that sort of just started developing because this nigga just like dropped his second album right now. So niggas were kind of going off on that shit. Like there were people that were saying L, there were people that were saying true, there were people, I don't know. Like when you compare the two, it's like two totally different things. So we could sit here and try to talk about it today, but it's like I don't even know if we could get like a firm grasp if we're answering this core question at this point. But hey, let's try to fucking break it down. So the Melodic Blue is Baby Keem's second, I mean like it's his first debut album, but it's like his second big project that niggas have seen. Certified Lover Boy is Drake's, like I have no fucking idea, like 10th project at this point. And in my opinion, I feel like Certified Lover Boy is like a parody album. Like this nigga Drake is making fun of like toxic masculinity. Like he says it's toxic masculinity, but I feel like it's kind of like supposed to be lighthearted and fun, but it's like for at least for the main hits and shit, there were no real singles to it. And then you look at Melodic Blue and it's more like an artistic album, and like it has like fucking crafted visuals and shit like that. Seems like some Kendrick Lamar vibes. Like yeah, I wouldn't say it's like lyrical miracle spiritual ass shit by any means. It's like a whole different type of genre of music. Like I feel like that shit is like a whole different genre of music. Like Drake's shit is more like some pop music, and I feel like it definitely accomplishes the goal. Like you look at Way Too Sexy, it's the #1 fucking Billboard song in the whole goddamn US, bro, today. And that's fucking September 13th. That shit is #1 in the fucking US. That shit is a fucking bop. That shit is like, at first the song grew on me. Like I felt like at first I was like, I don't know how I like the song because it's talking about Way Too Sexy and they flipped it, but that shit is like a fucking like, it's like a funk flip, like not funk but funk, like some Space Ghost Perp shit, like flip of like a fucking like classic song. And it's like I wouldn't have even thought about that. Like I don't know, niggas had to be on some type of drugs to fucking like think of that shit. That shit was dummy hard. Like the way they flipped that shit, honestly, I am not gonna lie to y'all though, I feel like Future carried that fucking track, bro. I'm just talking about like that track, these tracks in particular that stood out to me, because like I feel like the bangers for each of those, like I feel like there's some songs in both of those albums that could have gone not being on the album, and I'm just gonna talk about straight bangers. So that's the #1 banger in the fucking country. I know that song is hard as fuck, but I'm honestly interested in like how the fuck that song is gonna be like a week from now, because it's like the album just came out. Is it forgettable? Because I feel like lately Drake has not dropped any projects, not since like Take Care days, or like If You're Reading This Is Too Late, or like what's the one with the Jay-Z Pound Cake song? That fucking album, that name escapes me. But whatever the fuck that album is with him and the fucking like clouds and shit in the background, that nigga, like I don't really think he's really like, he's dropped some like memorable shit, but like Scorpion I guess has some memorable tracks, but it's just not hitting the same. And I feel like Drake is using the same formula and people are kind of like bored with it. And I feel like Baby Keem is the complete opposite. This nigga came out with some shit that's like totally unique to his own shit, and it's like a whole different wave. Like I was kind of talking about this in my last video with the Donda versus CLB shit, but it's basically, I feel like artists are taking risks now and they're trying to do different shit because they're tired of the same shit. Drake is on the same shit. He's been doing the same shit for the past like fucking like 8 years. So it's like I feel like it's like whatever you're into, really. Personally, I feel like you can't even really properly compare these two albums. And like, if we look at bangers, I'd say Do-Rag Activity is a fucking banger with Travis Scott. And I feel like the Travis Scott banger on that, he went harder than the banger that's on the fucking Drake album that he has with Drake. I feel like Travis went harder on that feature, because it seems like Travis be not going too hard on features. Like, this nigga be saying 5 words sometimes, barely just breathing on the track. But on that shit, he kind of had some emotion and shit. So it's like, got me a little hype for the Utopia shit that's supposed to come. So I definitely say the better Travis feature was done with Melodic Blue. Now, the Drake shit is like straight pop, so obviously it's gonna be on like Billboard and shit. But I feel like the fucking like Family Ties, the whole visual aspect and everything on Family Ties is a complete fucking banger. Like, those niggas went crazy with the Kendrick feature. So it's like, you can't even really properly compare the two. I'd say if you're on some artistic shit, I would say that the Baby Keem album is better than the Drake album. But if you're looking at just playing hits and boss and like what is it made for, like radio play and pop music and like getting people hype in the club, I would say Drake definitely hit that shit. And I would say that Drake's more songs that were on the album that were more like lyrical, miracle, spiritual shit, I feel like those shits were boring. Like, I feel like Drake be having lyrics too, but like that nigga was like on some boring shit. And he used to be like, if you're reading it too late, like I feel like that was lyrical and that nigga was still fucking lit. But now I feel like his lyrical shit is boring. So I feel like for the more abstract ideas, like Baby Keem is better. But for the more like lit, like get drunk, get party, like vibe, like cultural music, I say the Drake shit is hard. But I don't know. Mad people are probably going to disagree with this. Mad people are going to say one is better, one is the other. But it's at the end of the day, just appreciate that these niggas just even exist and make these music for us. But I'm interested in seeing what Drake is trying to do next. And I'm interested in everything. But hey, man, let me know in the comments which one you think is better. Real say shit. Peace.